Alyn McGee with YETicket.com. Well, I'm talking to Director Alyn Darnay, and we're going to talk about his film Boxed. And this is the first of a trilogy that he created and directed and all those good things. How you doing, Alyn?
I'm doing great, but let me correct you. The thing was created originally by Laurel Levy, who's
Right.
the leading lady. It stemmed from a monologue that she did in one of my workshops, which is an interesting transition from the
What
original
type of workshop?
acting workshop. I do once or twice a year. I do an acting workshop for professional actors called Alyn on Acting.
Nice. So after she did this, then she sat down with you, or she just sat down and
No.
created
What
a
happened is
screenplay?
she sat down and created a treatment of the story and then worked it into a screenplay, and then she pitched it to me.
And Box is about 1941, Germany,
It's,
Nazis.
it's about the Holocaust, yes. It's the second Holocaust film I've done. I was promised myself I would never do another one.
Why is
And
that?
well, when I did the first one, it was very emotionally trying for me because I felt a responsibility all of a sudden on the set to be accurate for the millions of people, the millions of Jews who died in concentration camps. And I thought that if I did something wrong or something that wasn't accurate, then I would be doing them a disservice instead of doing them a service.
Right.
So I took a lot of time with the research and a lot of time shooting it, making sure that it was right. And it took a toll on me emotionally. So I wasn't going to do another one. Even though it was very successful, it was called Immunity, and it won awards all over the world and a couple of humanitarian awards. So it was anyway. So this one came along, and it was a different slant on the Holocaust. It's actually a love story. I know that sounds strange. You've seen it, but underneath all of the rigmarole and action, it's basically a love story.
Yeah, and I saw that. Again, the story Box is because this couple is on a train going to, well, I don't know where they're going. I don't think they know
Auschwitz.
where they're going,
They don't know,
and
but
they
they're
don't know where they're going.
aimed at Auschwitz, and they're
Right.
in a boxcar with many other people stuffed into a boxcar with other Jews. Um, and it's horrifying. And we wanted to make it seem horrifying, but at the
Right.
same time,
Uh-huh.
it was their personal journey. So um, you can see by their emotions where they're at. And then the two actors, Avi Hoffman and Laura Levy, both extremely good actors, did a stupendous job
Right.
creating these characters.
Yeah, I can see, and also I can tell in these characters too that they are kind of, well, let's say they feel, or they have feelings for each other, but not only that, they have despair while they're in the boxcars because, again, their life is a misery, and they realize that, in 1941, when the Nazis came into their hometown of Vienna, and their whole lives just changed. And
Well,
and I felt that from them, from those characters while they were in the boxcars, because they talked about it a little bit.
imagine if you were a doctor, a lawyer, an Indian chief, you had a business, you had a profession, and all of a sudden you were not allowed to do that. That your business was closed and you were forced to move away from it, that your profession was no longer needed, and you were herded into a ghetto where all you could do was try to survive with very little food, no heat. And then on top of that, you get that's in the late 30s and early 40s. And then comes 1941, and they start taking these people to the concentration camps. And they really didn't know what was going on, but they knew it was horrifying. And they knew that they were headed somewhere like that. So they were trying to keep their calm while they knew that they were I don't know, about to die, whatever the thoughts were at the time. But yet this couple were so in love with each other that that bond of love held them together.
Yeah, I can understand that, and I can see how they felt about that. But for me, it's a little different because I'm an African American, and African Americans did not have that opportunity to move. We got killed. There's many cities in this United States where if you had a black business, it was destroyed and you were killed. So, to me, it's a little bit different to imagine that. At least they had an opportunity to live a little further. But for African Americans, when their own neighborhoods and small towns got attacked by racist white people and the government,
Yeah, it
it's a
was
little bit
terrible.
different for me.
It's terrible, and just it's starting to get a little better now, and I'm glad of that.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing whenever you go
Oh
out to
yeah.
a
Oh
race
yeah.
a race of people for whatever reason it is.
Well, hold it. This is a question for me though. Being Jewish is me just a religion. Jewish is not a race because I've talked to a few of my friends who are of the Jewish religion, but they do their DNA, and then the DNA comes back. Well, they're part of a Jewish neighborhood, a Jewish something like that, and they told me, say, wait a minute, Judaism is not a race, and they still cannot find their relatives because of those descriptions.
Well, I think it's a lifestyle. I think Jewish is a
But
lifestyle.
still not a race.
No, but treated as such
It
by the
is.
rest of the world.
You're absolutely right. It's treated as such, and I don't understand why it is treated as such.
Well,
Because again,
because they're an easy target. I mean, what happened in Germany was that German economy was in the toilet, and then Hitler was trying to gain power. And in order to do that, you have to blame somebody for the ills of the people. And he said he didn't like Jews, so he turned to the people and he said the Jews are responsible for all of our problems. They have all the money, they hoard it, they don't want to cooperate. And so he pointed at the Jews and created this whole hate system that was going on. So that's how you basically do it. And a lot of dictators have come to power doing the same thing. They point to a certain group of people and say that these are the people who created the problems that we're having, and the best way to solve it is to eliminate them.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's still going on today. Like here in the United States right now, like at the borders, they don't want to let the brown people in. I'm talking Mexicans and South Americans and things like that because they're talking about, well, they're gonna come and take their jobs. The economy is going to change. Let's not let them in and things like that. It's still going on today. And your film Box is showing some of that, but also again the love that this couple have for each other. And I don't want to give a lot away. Like I said, this is a trilogy that you putting together, that you directing, right?
Yes, it is. It is. We're working on part 2 right now, and and then I guess we're going to go do part 3, which is another story altogether. But we did it as how does she say that? She says these are snippets, pieces of her life. So she's telling a story
Of her real life.
Of her real life. And although our story is fantasy, these things really did happen. I found a lot of instances to it in my research when I was researching this stuff.
Also, what I like too is that you show pictures of Jewish families, old pictures, and that was emotional for me to see those pictures of these families from way back then, and man, just how they might not be here and things like that.
I felt that the story would be better served if I put it in context. So what I did was create the context of what had happened in about a minute and a half. It might be 2 minutes worth of three-dimensional stills and old footage that we found of that particular period and that particular time.
Right.
So that it established the context of where they were and what was going on at the time.
Yeah, that's very emotional.
Otherwise, I felt that the audience would be lost if I just opened up in the boxcar and then they would have to come to speed and I would lose something.
Right.
Anyways.
Well, it captured me, that first part. You know, it really did. Well, how can someone see your film?
Well, let's see. We're in 7 film festivals already around the country and the world. Surprised to me that in the many film festivals I entered with the features that I've done and everything, this is the first time the film festivals are reaching out to us and asking if they can see the film. Word is getting out, I guess, among the film festivals that it's a good piece. So they're asking us to come in and let them show it. So that's unheard of for me. So that's good. But the next place to see it would be at the Fort Lauderdale Film Festival. That starts in November, the beginning of November. And they're showing it 4 times during the festival. So you can catch up with it then.
And what's the dates for the Fort Lauderdale Film Festival?
I think it's like the 5th through the 29th, something like that.
Oh, November?
Yes. Used to be the longest. Fort Lauderdale Film Festival is one of the best festivals in the country. I don't think it gets enough praise for what it brings in. But Gregory Van Housh, who is the president of the festival and the director, is able to find these little gems all over the world, where they French films, Italian films, Russian films, and he mixes them with American films quite well. It used to be the longest film festival in the world, a month and a half, but it's so hard these days, particularly in the days of COVID, to extend something that long. So it's about 3 weeks long now, but really worth the investment of time to go see what he's showing. And we're honored to have Boxed in the festival and haven't been asked to have it there. So.
Right. It is one of the best film festivals. In fact, I'm a former board member, Fort Lauderdale Film Festival.
That's right.
I know how good it is. And but you're right. Unfortunately, because it is here in South Florida, I think that's why, because we don't have the publicity here like a New York, like a Chicago, like a LA, which is unfortunate. It's been going on for many, many years, but it is a very good film festival.
Well, it's not like they don't get attendance. They're always crowded. Sometimes you can't get into one of their movies. And you never know what's going to hit as a favorite. Like I did a comedy a while back called Chrissy Bell. And it was scheduled.
I remember that film.
It was a comedy. It was scheduled to show one time. And the audience loved it so much that the festival rescheduled and put it in 2 more times. No, 3 more times.
Yeah, it sold a lot of tickets.
Yeah, it did. It was sold out every showing. And,
yeah.
That was really good. I've been very lucky. My films have done very well at film festivals.
Yeah, great. Well, Alyn, thank you very much for taking time with me, Al McGee, here at yeticket.com to talk about your new film, Boxed.
Always a pleasure, Al. Always a pleasure.
And you can see it at Fort Lauderdale Film Festival if you're here in Florida. But other film festivals, just let me know about other film festivals so I can put the word out.
I will.
Here at yeticket.com.
I will let you know as soon as I do.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Go see Boxed. You won't waste your time. It's a good movie.
Go see it.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.